Simply Defensive brings you the industry's top practitioners, innovators, and leaders to inform, educate, and entertain. Join us as we unlock the secrets of defensive cybersecurity. Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Simply Defensive. I'm Josh Mason, and with me is my co-host, Wade Wells.
What's up?
And today we've got Hayden Covington. Hayden, thanks for joining us, man.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
Hayden, you work at Black Hills, and for those who are listening, this is not yet a Black Hills sponsored podcast, but it certainly feels like it sometimes.
I'm sure you could convince them. It wouldn't take a whole lot, I'm sure.
Yeah, maybe we'll have a talk.
Wouldn't. They get the SOC to sponsor this, the anti-SOC, that offensive. Yeah, right.
Wouldn't be a bad idea.
I don't know. I'll poke some people.
Yeah.
So you teased, Hayden, you work at the SOC at Black Hills. What else should people know about you?
I started in SOC work, but even before Black Hills. Now I don't really know what my normal job is. I feel a lot of the time like I'm just kind of thrown at problems, or I discover problems on my own and then force myself to fix them because I can't leave them alone.
Nice.
Which has earned me a lot of repeating and recurring work. I gave a webcast, I think last year, on how to do metrics for your SOC, and that was because I wanted to improve our metrics, and now that's been my thing for almost 2 years now to be reporting.
Oh, you're the metrics guy. There's
Fun.
always one in the SOC who has in charge of all the metrics.
Yeah, that's me for the most part, yeah. It's not too bad. I like the
Nice.
numbers.
Who do we talk to? Was it Jess Bishop or Ashley about SOC metrics and how they could be improved?
I think both, maybe. It's because you can lie on SOC metrics. It's really easy.
Exactly.
It's really easy to inflate them and do stuff. There's a lot of good articles out there on how to not inflate them. And then there's one really good talk that we discussed. I can't remember what it's called, but the guy spoke at B-Sides Las Vegas. He actually spoke at B-Sides San Diego, and I didn't hear it there. But really about metrics and security operations. It's an interesting one for defensive stuff, to tell you the truth. But
What's your, what do you think are the most important metrics, Hayden?
I mean, it depends a little bit on whether or not you're an MSP. Like, if you have customers, your metrics are going to defer a little bit. And
Sure.
one of the main points of that webcast from last year was I really hit on, there are a lot of C-level folks that put way too much effort on certain metrics. Like the example I gave was number of alerts. If you want that number of alerts to go up or down, I could do a lot of bad things to cause that to happen. I could give you one of the worst detections you will ever see, and that'll cause it to go up or down. The most important ones are, and I hated using the business terms, but ones related to your KPIs, your key performance indicators. What is important to you for you to know that you're doing a good job? And so for me, two of my favorites that I look at in our SOC is I want to look at, we do have an SLA. I want to see how many tickets went over that SLA. And, if it's a number above a couple, I would like to know why, and I'll go look into that. But the other one I like to see, and I've had to explain this one a couple times why I like to see it go down, is number of escalated tickets. I like to see the number of tickets we escalate to customers go down, because to me, that shows us that we're investigating things well enough that we don't have to bother them with it.
Interesting.
Or you're at least making them more secure, and you're finding stuff for them to fix, right? So they don't get popped as much.
Yeah, we're big on prevention too, is we'll do, AD reviews, or we'll do basically a miniature pivot inside of a network, just because, if they're more secure, it makes our job way easier.
Right?
Yeah. How do you feel if we're getting too much in the weeds or secret sauce stuff, don't feel free to shoot me down.
Yeah.
But as working in several SOCs, my entire career has also been in the SOC, right? 2 MSPs. I have felt the communication between MSP and customer is probably one of the hardest relationships to make.
Yep.
Just because I've talked about this before. There's that thing where they're both testing you but for you to be better, they have to tell you stuff, but they don't think they should tell you. You should already know. Do
Yeah.
you find that happening a lot?
Yeah, it really depends on your relationship with that customer. We definitely have some that don't want to tell us things before they happen, or there's been cases where something happens and they get upset only to realize they weren't sending us the log that we would need to see it.
Oh.
But we do also have some that are very, they understand the point of a SOC is not to catch everything. The point of a SOC is to be an early warning system for you getting attacked. And so they'll actively work with us, and we will, it's very informal. We'll go back and forth. We'll hop on calls. We'll show, each other dashboards and screen shares of different things, just trying to make things, it goes two ways. Is the more information we get, the better service that we can provide. And yeah, I mean, you can have that relationship with some customers better than others. It does help to get, I find, like a SOC analyst, get their faces in front of those customers, because then when you're asking questions on tickets to them, they have that recognition of, oh yeah, this is that person that joined that one time.
Working in customer service, I have always realized that if you are face to face with someone, their attitude completely changes. For instance, like taking someone's order over a headset, over a speaker system, right? They will be so mean to you. And then the moment they pull up and realize that you're a real person, they're like, maybe I shouldn't have said all that. Like every time, it's one of the weirder things with humans. That's why Starbucks has a camera built in, and they can actually turn that on so you can see them.
Oh, interesting.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, those newer Starbucks. I've only had one Starbucks employee ever turn it on while we were taking orders, and we were all like, "What?" But
you could see us.
Yeah, well, they could see us, but then we could see them.
Yeah,
that was the better part.
Interesting.
Huh. Yeah. Man, when you guys both started, was video conferencing as big as it is now? I feel like I've been doing video conferencing for decades, but it was like not a whole lot of it until definitely the pandemic put us like all online.
It's still big just because I guess the hot term now is like MDR, right? Managed detection response instead of like MSP. But back then, like majority of my meetings I would have were all still on Zoom. I think I had like 2 or 3 customer meetings a day to talk to them about stuff.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, when I started, I worked for a government contractor before. And so that was like, you're working in a secure building, your laptop does not have the camera enabled. And for a long period, even just a couple years before I started, you couldn't bring a cell phone in there. So you had people that would own a pager specifically to bring in to work, just in case there was like an emergency or something.
That's great. It
was very different. Yeah. And so
I was like, wait, are pagers even allowed with Tempest? And then,
it wasn't quite that secure. Yeah, it wasn't a skiff or anything like that. Like Windows still.
Gotcha.
Not in the room that I worked in, unfortunately. It was like the darkest corner of the whole building.
We've all been there.
I was gonna say, did you get Windows? Because I didn't get Windows for a long time, right?
No. We were back in a corner room in the dark where like only half the lights would be on, but the SOC had their own room, which was at least nice, so we could just kind of do whatever. The manager's office was also attached to that, so he could just sit there and watch us.
Whoa.
We had our own room and our own man trap, and the man trap was our kitchen. So there was like times where someone would forget their they would forget their badge and get stuck in the kitchen. That was hilarious. One time someone called me and got stuck in there, or got stuck outside, and I had to drive up and let them in. But we had 4 walls. And then one of the walls was nothing but monitors, pew charts, right?
Yeah.
And then we had one of those windows that is like crystal. So the boardroom meeting was right there. They would have meetings with customers. They'd bring them in. And then all of a sudden that window would become opaque. Like usually it's glass. Usually it's like grayed out, become opaque. And it's like we're in a fishbowl. It's like, oh, here's our SOC. Look at all these giant monitors they're looking at. It was cool, but it definitely didn't feel cool. It's like,
not cool to you, cool to them.
No, yeah. Matt,
I get that.
Not looking. It's a lot different working from home, I would imagine, especially with for me, even now working in a SOC. But I always felt like working with actual people was good, especially a lot of managed security providers usually have newer people come in, right? It's a lot easier to train people in person as online.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why I enjoyed like Black Hills does their Wild West Pack and Fest. I enjoyed that because for the first time for me, that was meeting a lot of those folks that I'd been working with all the time. And it really, helps your motivation to work with these people in person. Like we actually had a SOC incident come in over a Wild West Hack and Fest.
Yeah.
And so we were able to, several of us sit in the same room for way too long working on that. But it was
Did
cool
that feel
to be
weird?
able to, yeah, it felt really weird. It was like, oh, this is so much easier, but also, it feels very different.
I only have one monitor. This really sucks.
That part did suck. I did consider, because at one point John Strand was in there and he was like, let me know if you guys need anything, food or whatever. And I almost said I would love another monitor. And I bet you he would have.
He would have.
If anything, he would have gone and bought one and come back with it.
Yeah, I probably would have. I don't know where you'd drive to in South Dakota to get one.
He would find a way, or he would
Denver.
He would know where to find one.
True.
Yeah, I'm definitely partial to working from home though. I love it. I spent too long with an hour commute, but that hour could turn into 3 because I would go through a tunnel. So if there's a wreck, then you're there forever. But
Or a little bit of
working from
rain, or
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. If you've ever been to Virginia to Hampton Roads, we have a bridge tunnel, and it is notorious for being horrible to drive through because for whatever reason, everybody wants to go 10 miles an hour through the 55 tunnel just because I guess they're not used to going underwater or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Right? Come on, get used to that.
even though you figure most of the people that are in that commute regularly. No, I
You would
understand.
imagine.
There's stuff around Maryland that's a lot the same. You're just like, did you forget from yesterday and all the other times that you've driven this? I forget.
Exactly.
Hey, if you can hear me, I lost audio.
We can hear you. It's okay. I'll catch you up. And you can
Just
hear
complaining
us.
about traffic and tunnels.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt. This is Future Josh with a message from this season's sponsor.
Do zero-day exploits and supply chain attacks keep you up at night? Well, worry no more. You can harden your security with ThreatLocker. Worldwide, companies like JetBlue trust ThreatLocker to secure their data and keep their business operations flying high. ThreatLocker takes a deny-by-default approach to cybersecurity and provides a full audit of every action allowed or blocked for risk management and compliance. Onboarding and operation is fully supported by their US-based Cyber Heroes support team. Get a free 30-day trial and learn more about how ThreatLocker can help prevent ransomware and ensure compliance. Visit threatlocker.com.
So, talking about training folks, you've got a course now on anti-siphon, the foundations of SOC with Elastic and Jira.
Yeah.
Is that, when I hear like foundations of SOC in comparison to like John's course on SOC core skills, does this kind of build on that, or is it a wholly separate sort of thing?
It kind of builds on John's course in a sense, but it could also be separate. So,
Sure.
So where this course kind of came from is when I started, I took John's, course as well. That was one of the things that you're supposed to do when you get hired is you take a couple specific courses based on your job role. And that was one of them. And John's course does a really good job of teaching like security fundamentals for SOC. But where I found, in my opinion, where I felt the disconnect was translating that to daily ops, is what you do day to day as a SOC analyst, specifically in our environment.
Mhm.
So what this course was trying to do was I wanted to have somebody, not even just a student, but even if we hire a new SOC analyst, I want someone to be able to come in and take this course, and then we can talk one-to-one about, what you need to be doing. So I could have someone come in, take this course, and then I could say, hey, go put in a suppression for this alert, X, Y, and Z details, and they'll at least know what I'm talking about. And in that course, you'll actually go and do those things. And so, that was the original thought, is it would be kind of bridging that gap between fundamental knowledge and actually doing those things.
Okay. Interesting. So it sounds like it's going to be a lot more hands-on with that.
Yeah, absolutely. The the gimmick that I'll spoil it a little bit. The gimmick that I was gonna drop at the end is you build a SOC throughout the course. You scale it up with a bit more infrastructure pricing and just use it for your company. It is fully functional, and the joke at the end was going to be something along the lines of like, yeah, all you need is staffing. Oh wait, you know how to do this now, sort of thing. And
Yeah.
that was another motivator too that I did talk some with Zach with, was like, wouldn't it be so cool to go into an interview to be a SOC analyst and just tell them, yeah, I built a SOC? Just that would be crazy to me, because you will. And that was another one of my motivators too, to make it so hands-on. And there were a couple of labs that I thought about cutting, but
Mhm.
just being able to have that, like Jira specifically. Jira
Yeah.
is not
That
critical
part's-
to certain things. Right.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. But knowing how to do the basics, like it's probably about an eighth of the course, a fifth of the course, something like that, working on Jira stuff. But at least there's enough in there. And Black Hills uses Jira, which was another reason I kept it in there. But
Yeah.
knowing how to configure those SLAs and set up on-call schedules might not be something that you ever revisit, but at least you know generally how to do it if you ever need to.
Yeah. That's a skill that like I've definitely seen and never seen a course on outside of like developer courses. And that's,
Yeah. I want to do one for Splunk. I was always a Splunk guy. I haven't had the time yet to spin the course. I wanted to take it and then basically flip it to do Splunk and then some other ticketing system, or just do 100% Splunk. Doc. Really? Oh, yeah. I did that when I was experimenting. Oh, nice.
sounds like a race to the course. See who has
You'll
more bandwidth
get
to
there
build it.
first if you're trying to. No, I already have. That was my biggest struggle making the course, is I had way too much content. Like I had to pull something like 2 or 3 labs and like 40 slides or something. And I mean, I'm going to include them with the content. People always get content with anti-siphon courses just to take away. But there were some labs that had to become optional, just because when I was making it, I was like, okay, I need to cover this amount of time. And then I didn't even account for the fact, like stupid little things, like people need time to do labs. Like that was something that didn't occur to me when I was writing it.
Yeah. And if it's a live course, are you building in breaks?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it'll be live, so breaks will be in there too. I've played a fair bit of D&D as a GM, so I can ramble for a bit. I've definitely talked. Yeah, and my post on LinkedIn or something about the course, I was told I'm supposed to share on social media about it, which goes against every fiber of my being. But one of my favorite things that I shared was something about how I'm just going to be going for like the world record of most coffee consumed during that 72-hour period. So to make sure to come to the course in Denver, just because I already drink a stupid amount of coffee, and I'm sure I'll be making edits like the night before and everything like that. So
Who does that sound like?
yeah, I'm normal now. What's going on?
It's always one of those things where no matter how many times you do it, it still feels weird. When I was teaching like 5 days a week for 8 hours a day, you get to a certain point where you're just like, fine to go, until someone says, okay, now teach this. It's just like, oh, right back into that feeling.
Yeah, it's been a weird experience because I've been doing this 6 years now, maybe almost 7. So I've been doing it for a bit, but I haven't been doing it a long time. And I find myself teaching alongside some folks, like looking at the Denver lineup or the other summit lineup. Like I find myself teaching alongside some folks that I was like reading stuff about while I was in college. Like, whoa, I could like go talk to this guy and ask him a question on how to do something that he probably made. Like, it's just, it blows my mind of, being able to interact directly with some of those folks.
Do you feel like that's out of the norm, or does it just feel weird?
It's definitely not out of the norm, I don't think. A lot of people in this, once you get down to the community level of like InfoSec stuff, a lot of people are very approachable.
Mhm.
It's just weird for me because, I mean, everybody has their imposter syndrome and stuff, right? And when I was making this course, I was like, yeah, I don't know if I'll ever even have the motivation to finish this thing. So the fact that it's, completed and, I'm working alongside some super cool people was just a little bit of a surprise that all came to fruition. Let's see. I did 4-ish years at my last place. Some of that was an internship and doing part-time while I was in school. I worked part-time in that SOC for a couple of years while I was in college. So when I graduated, it was very easy to move to full-time. And then I've been at Black Hills for almost 2.5 years.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly, right? But
He's
the
in Black
point
Hills.
now,
Doesn't need to go anywhere.
yeah, exactly. The point now that I'm at is like the imposter syndrome started to go down because I've met enough of these really smart people and I'll ask them these questions and they're like, dude, I have no idea. Like these people that are these titans of industry that are some of the smartest people that you've ever heard of. They also don't have the answers, but what they do have is the knowledge of how to go find those answers. And that's what I really try to drill into people that are newer, that don't have self-confidence about what they're doing, is no one knows what they're doing is the secret. Some people are very good at finding answers or making a case for what they believe to be the best option.
That right there is gold. All of us have done talks and webinars and courses. And frankly, the difference between a lot of us and a lot of the folks who are out there is just we turned on a camera or sent in a proposal for a talk. But otherwise, we're just people. Everyone's just people.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've had that sort of fear. Yeah, breakfast that Friday before your keynote, you were paying, man, that whole day.
Oh.
You had both like this zen and anxious energy coming off of you. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's good right there. Yeah.
it got out of me really quickly, the fear of public speaking, because when I was younger, I knew how to play piano, and I was forced to play in front of people by my parents. And so from that point on, I was like, dude, I can absolutely talk in front of people. This is nothing. Like as long as I have my notes, and I'll do a dry run through all my content once before I actually give it. And as long as I do that, in some cases, it's almost like an out-of-body experience where I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm just, I guess, consciously repeating what I said during the dry run or something.
That's
I don't know how
real.
normal. Maybe I'm crazy. Really? Oh, I'm sure it'll come out before too long.
You just blacked
Yeah.
out and woke up and you're like, any questions? Exactly.
I can attest he got a lot of applause for that talk, so he couldn't have been doing too badly.
I don't know. I was looking forward to the talk the whole time, so I was just there with you. It was good. And that's what I was just thinking. Wade talked about like the pyramid of pain for participating. You've done a webinar, you're doing a course now. Is this like a new thing? We joked about we're trying to get folks out of the SOC into the community. Has participating been a newer thing for you, or?
I mean, not necessarily. My biggest problem is just time. I feel so insanely busy all the time that I struggle to make time for things. Like sometimes my hobbies will suffer because of that, because tech is one of my hobbies, and it can be very all-consuming. And I'm very much a single-minded person in a lot of cases. So at any given time, one thing will be receiving the majority of my attention. And when that thing is tech, I'm very focused on that. But yeah, the course design and stuff was new to me. I had to talk to a number of the course authors and be like, hey, I have a lot of very dumb and simple questions that I need you to answer for me. Like, how are you providing labs to people? And, I asked a bunch of those questions. So the course stuff was new to me. The webcasts and stuff. I mean, I did a first one for Black Hills last year, but I had to give some at my last job. I've not given a talk in person yet. That is on my list, though, just as something to do. Yeah, I don't know which one I would prefer, honestly. I guess I'll just have to. I'll do one at some point. I've been trying to track the list of CFPs and stuff that our community folks send out and send in some stuff. Like I sent in. Oh, did you? Yeah, I've been
I was just
sending
gonna
in
say
the
San Diego's
detection
CFP is still
engineering.
open.
Yeah, I sent in the detection engineering talk to that one, and then I'm eyeing a couple others as well. I just need to pace myself. Otherwise, I'll find myself booked for like the next 6 months or something. Because I have.
It's fun.
Well, I guess so, yeah, because I have this course in the first week of December, and then I have it again in February in Denver, and then I have like a workshop that I'm giving in March and stuff. So I'm quickly booking myself out.
Not yet. That one's fun. Yep.
I'll add that to my list of things to look at.
Ooh.
Nice. I'm very introverted by nature, so I have to make sure to pace myself. Otherwise, I'll just become a husk of a human being. Like
I understand.
I've been told I can hide it sometimes, at least for a little while. But my perfect day is just to like hide in the dark and type. Like that's my favorite kind of day. Just with music and a whole bunch of coffee and my cat somewhere mad at me because I'm not giving her enough attention.
I get that 100%. Yeah, there's cons where I've gone and had a hard time hanging. You get to a certain point and just like, all right, I'm calling it a night. And yeah, Hack SpaceCon is a nice one because I feel like I know plenty of folks. Wild West doesn't feel like a con to me. It feels like a get together of friends. So that's for me is a little different. I didn't have a talk and a course to teach, so Wade's experience might have been different than mine.
That would be one of the hardest spots to get because you're thinking about it the whole time.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, actually, you got a good point there. Because Black Hat, we were hanging out a bit because stuff was for me was like right there. And then once it got to the end of the week and hit DEF CON, I was like, oh, I gotta go to things. Jump in an Uber. Yeah. I feel you, man. So Hayden, folks are gonna see you on a few of the anti-siphon summits and then Wild West Denver or Mile High.
Yep.
We'll have links to events and stuff like that in the show notes, either of things that you've done or things that are coming up so people can catch that. Is there anything else people should know about you or where they can get more of Hayden?
I mean, LinkedIn, Twitter, or X or whatever. I don't want this to be like basically an ad for me or anything.
That's the point. Yeah.
Yeah. What else should they know about me? I love Formula One. I've been to 2 races now. I absolutely want to go to more. I would love to go to one in Europe. That's a great thing to know about me. Triathlete. I am also obsessed with productivity and the notion of it. Unintended, because I'm also obsessed with Notion. Right now, I'm a lawful good artificer. So that is my current dude. I mostly end up running games. Like I have 2 that I'm running right now with folks, but the one that I'm playing in, I'm an artificer. I'm mostly a caster, but I wanted to try something different.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a universal experience for DMing in D&D. Is I have a distinct memory of a session where we ended it and I said, "Hey, where are you guys going next? Like, let me know so I can prep." And they told me. And so we come back the next week or the next time to play, and they immediately go somewhere that I have only the name of in my notes. Just that's it. And so I was like, oh, this is going to be a very interesting few hours. And I mean, it turned out being a lot of fun because I think they understood that there wasn't a whole lot of prep there, and so everybody was willing to play into it and just let me kind of improv some stuff. But yeah, no, D&D, normally a caster. We love casting spells. I can't get away from it. What a good game. I spent too long organizing my inventory. I need a mod that just I loot everything that I can find that isn't nailed down. I never spend any of the money I get from it, basically, but
Why do I feel targeted?
no, what is this? Okay, I'm in. Oh, nice. Crazy. I did notice your psycho mask up on the wall. In that. Oh, yeah. I'm a sucker for a Borderlands game. I refused to watch it, and it sounded like that was the correct decision. I heard someone say the best way to watch it was to fall asleep after 10 minutes and then wake up at the end.
Fortunately, Fallout was better than that, but
well, I was surprised. I had my critiques, but I was pleasantly surprised.
Same.
I don't know how you don't mention Death Claws, man. Mom. Why
Start
not,
with
though?
Death Claws?
Iconic.
Yeah.
Iconic. It's like that old Knights of the Old Republic game, like the first Star Wars
Yeah.
Knights of the Republic, where they have all like the zombie creatures down in the underworld. It scared me so bad when I was like 12. I never was able to finish that game just because I was so scared of those dudes.
I get that.
Such good games, and there's so much. I forgot it's on the phone now. Oh, I have a Steam Deck, so well, you can move this computer though. Is the thing? Yes, but that's the work laptop, right? You might be violating policies by installing games on it. So I'm pretty sure you need to buy. I need to buy an LLC laptop. I was supposed to do that. I think I'm still running off my Black Hills one. So far, everything's out of pocket at the moment, so I'm going to hold off on buying a laptop. It's been an interesting experience. Yeah.
No, and 3 nonprofits.
Crazy. What is
Simply CyberCon, New Village. LLCs are like $50 each in Maryland. The others, yeah.
Oh, because I needed a Virginia business license, and then I needed a business license for my city too. And so I'm like, they're like, "Can you estimate your income?" And I'm like, "Yeah, 0." Like at the moment, 0. So
it's only costing me things.
Yeah, exactly. Nah, at some point it'll recoup. I mean, yeah, at a certain point, I'm just like, I want an excuse to buy cool things and then say that I'm using it for my class. Like, I'm the total opposite. Is like, I need to buy a laptop, so I'm a Mac or an Apple guy, so I'm gonna buy some sort of MacBook. But I'm also the prime target audience for the stupidly overpriced Vision Pro. Like, it makes me angry how expensive it is, but at the same time, like I was an early adopter of VR too. Like I was buying the
2?
Yeah. Nice. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What a good game. So stressful.
Just like,
oh no. I get way more stressed. I get way too stressed out to play Overcooked. I'm just like panicking and like throwing food across things. Yeah. That and Half-Life Alyx in VR scared the crap out of me. That was an experience. Oh, beautiful. The first time I played Half-Life Alyx, I was in like a horror sequence of it. Because if you haven't played that game, it transitions from like cool VR show off to like horror sequences from time to time. And I couldn't figure out how to reload. Like I couldn't find a button or something. And so I'm just panicking. I eventually just take the headset off. I'm like, nope, I'm done. I'm done for today. I don't want this. I was throwing things at it and it wouldn't stop. Like, I'm done. Horror games I could do, but VR is different.
We will likely just keep talking for hours if we don't cut it off.
That's true.
Unfortunately.
Blue teamers. Oh man, and to narrow it to 1.
It's all right. Some people have done like 4.
Okay. No, I'll keep it to one. I'll follow the rules. I'm a rule follower. Super type A. Lawful good. Okay, so my one would be to keep your own personal documentation. That would be my advice. I have notes on pretty much anything I do or have done, and it has saved me countless times. I had to rebuild a web app of mine the other day. It's back in that closet, and I had all the commands and everything saved that I had to run the first time, and so it took me 30 seconds. So I use Obsidian and Notion. Obsidian for D&D. Obsidian for D&D and Notion for everything else. That's what my workshop is on. It'll be a pay what you can in like sometime March next year with Anti-Siphon. Trying to teach like tech folks how to, how to be productive, how to self-manage, how to, keep a task list and manage long-term projects and, organize your notes and stuff. Because there's a million ways to do it, and what works the best for somebody else might not work the best for you.
I like it. Hayden, thank you so much for joining us. Folks who are listening or watching, if you liked this, rate it, give it likes, share, and subscribe, all that stuff I'm supposed to say at the end. Ring the bell and join us next week. Again, thanks, Hayden. See you, Wade.
Yep. Thanks.